jack shit to this day. So you mean to tell me slave owners got reparations when they had to free their slaves because they abolished slavery? You mean to tell me that they got reparations for losing their slaves, but the slaves ain't get jack shit to this day? So you mean to tell...
So to all my black folk that are bougie and, they turncoats and they sellouts and they whitewashed and they be cooning it up for massa, y'all all say the same thing. Y'all sound worse than white people when y'all sit up here and say, why y'all asking for reparations? We asking for reparations for what was done. Okay, now I'm going to bring my computer lady up in here real quick and she going to say something to you. But I'll be right back to hit you with that 1-2 since y'all just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Since y'all don't get it and y'all love talking y'all SHIT about what we want and what we need and who shouldn't get this and who shouldn't get that. Y'all sound like some racist white people. I hope y'all know that. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all jigaboos understand and learn that y'all cooning it up. Y'all bougie as hell. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to say nothing good about black people, please don't say nothing at all.
After slavery ended, newly freed Black Americans faced many hardships. They experienced joy, but also widespread disease, starvation, and violence. Denied land and fair wages, many were forced into exploitative labor systems, and systemic oppression created deep cycles of poverty.
Okay, in the epic, we're going to talk about disease and starvation. Okay, in the epic aftermath of the Civil War and emancipation, thousands of freed people suffered and died from cholera, smallpox, overcrowding, and refuge camps. Okay, right after, you know what I'm saying? Right after we was pseudo set free. A top priority for freed men and women was to locate spouses, children, and parents who had been torn apart by domestic slave trade. Many traveled long distance to reunite. Okay, no 40 acres and a mule. Federal attempts to redispute Confederate Southern land to former enslaved people were blocked, and property was returned to white landowners. Sharecropping. Do you know how much a slap in the face is sharecropping? Let's say you was in prison, right? And you served 27 years in prison and you got out of prison and then they told you still have to live in the prison and you still have to be under the same subobligations that you were before. So when black people come up here and they say, "Oh, we don't know why black people asking for some reparations? Why we asking for some reparations?" Because it's a debt owed. That's off top. There's so many different things that happened to black people right after slavery. It led me to the conclusion that I don't know what was worse. What happened to our people before or what happened to our people after, but our inheritance was stolen, stripped, and taken away from us to the point to where there's an actual wealth gap in this country. And you might say to yourself, well, black people, they're only 13% of the population. But if white people left us alone, we would have had all of our towns and all of our cities, all of our conglomerates and corporations. We would have all of that. But anytime black people built something up, it was stripped, it was taken, it was burned, it was shot down all the time. It has to be an atonement of this country for what was done to my people. Every time, you know what I'm saying? Every time we build something, here come the white mobs burning and killing and unaliving black people. That has to be atoned for. Now, spiritually, it's underway, but physically, it has to be a statement being made with the tribute, the reparations being paid. Let's look more into this. Okay, sharecropping. Because they had no money, land, or resources, most freed people were forced to rent land from their former enslaver. They paid rent with a portion of their crops, but primarily contact and debt peonage trapped many in a cycle that closely resembled the economic subjugation of slavery. So You take black people out of slavery and then put them right back into slavery all over again. Remember, there were vagrancy laws in this country, meaning that if you did not have a job, they put you back into slavery. Look at all. What is the proper word? I don't want to say so much exclusion, but exploitation of the black dollar that was extracted out of the black community. Your people tried so hard to build and build and build and build and build. But these black folk, they got a piece of the white people pie. They don't want to think that all of our people is suffering like that. They want the same thing of how it's been going. The money that was actually produced in slavery is still floating around. Now, being rich, you can lose being rich. You buy a couple mansions, get married a couple times, have a couple kids, buy a couple Ferraris and some Lambos, and you'll be back broke. But wealth doesn't disappear. You cannot spend wealth. Wealth will always be there. And my people was locked up out. Not only was they land taken away from them, not only was they was forced into debt peonage and all these debt systems being exploited through hundreds of years. Black people think that we're not owed nothing. It's like y'all take the talking points from white people that's racist, and you just spill it out your damn mouth like it's the truth. Okay, let's get back into this. So sharecropping, it's sad, family. It's sad to take us out of slavery and just change the name, then put us in another form of slavery because we weren't set free. You mean to tell me my grandfather had to go back to where he was enslaved to work again for free because they wasn't paid at the end of it? They say they were paid. No, them people was cheating them out of money all left and right. My grandfather, Lemmy Luster, was a sharecropper. He didn't get no money out of that. But he showed enough work for that white man and enriching that white man. Once more again, you can lose being rich, but you can never take away wealth. I don't care how much money you spend. I don't care if you got married 20 times. I don't care if you bought 100 mansions. I don't care if you bought every Ferrari in the damn show floor and Porsche 911. You still gonna have a gang of money left. And that was taken from our people. And you ignorant Negroes will sit up here and not know your history because you living fancy off the white man's dime. Let's get more into this. Okay. Wage labor. Many sign yearly contracts with white plantation owners to work as farmer maids or cooks. Okay, Black Code. Southern states immediately passed laws designed to restrict black freedom and compel them to work in labor economics. These laws limited mobility, requiring annual work contracts, and allowed the state to arrest black people for vagrancies and lesser than labor to prevent companies. So they didn't want us back in that time. They did not want us building anything. They locked us out of the American pie until like 1960. Around like 1960, it was more formidable for a black man to actually buy some land. No, I can't even say that. Like 1980, black people can finally start buying land, and we wouldn't have to worry about our houses being torn down and our families being massacred. But you Negroes act like y'all know everything. You Negroes live on the white man's dime, and you don't live in our world. So why do you try to think like you could speak for us? You good. I just hope and I pray that all you black people that sit up here and y'all go against reparations, when it's time for the money to be paid, that you actually don't take the money. Since the money's no good for you and you already got so much, put it back in the pot and give it back to us. Since you so much of, you don't think that we deserve reparations, will be paid. Black people will get a check, a big one. So y'all go ahead and get that money right back, since we don't deserve. And I'm going to tell you right now, 50 years from now, any black person that stood against reparations, they're going to be documented. It's going to be all kind of studies on like what was wrong with the 10% of black people that they didn't think that they were owed something from the government after all that chaos and confusion and all them tragic events befall the black man and the black woman. Okay, we did that. Work contracts and allowed the state to arrest black people for vagrancies. Okay, violence and intimidations. As African Americans As African Americans attempted to build independent lives, they faced several black backlashes from white supremacist groups such as the KKK and state-sanctioned violence aimed at preventing them from voting or growing property. So I would just like them to look back through the past. Just look back to the past, because the past affects the present and the future. Now, if the white slave owners was given reparations for owning my grandfather, why do you think that money just gets to stay in the hands of America? Why do you think that for? Why y'all think that we don't deserve our inheritance to be passed to us so it could take black people out of poverty? Why y'all think like that? That's what it is. Y'all get a piece of that cake and y'all don't want to share it with nobody else. It's a damn shame. We need reparations to be paid so a peace treaty can be signed. That's a form of, I hope y'all know that. Reparations is a form of a peace treaty signed that said that the United States is not going to attack us and burn down and take from us anymore. At this point, we don't have no treaties with America. Ain't no reparations paid, so they can do whatever the hell they want to do with us. And you simple ass Negroes gonna sit up here and act like this is not a problem. Since y'all think it's not a problem, please listen to my sister again, because y'all uneducated. Y'all supposed to have high IQs, and y'all went to Morehouse and y'all went to all these damn colleges. Y'all supposed to, but that's what it is. You don't got no love for your people. And if you don't love your people, I know you don't love yourself.
Tell me, slave owners got reparations when they had to free their slaves because they abolished slavery. You mean to tell me that they got reparations for losing their slaves, but the slaves ain't get jack shit to this day?
Say it one more time.
After slavery ended, newly freed Black Americans faced many hardships. They experienced joy, but also widespread disease, starvation, and violence. Denied land and fair wages, many were forced into exploitative labor systems, and systemic oppression created deep cycles of poverty.